I'm going to show you how to tile a shower base. The tools I need for the job: I'll need a bucket to mix the glue, we need water to mix our adhesive with, a sponge for cleanup, we'll need an adhesive rake to put the adhesive under the tiles, we'll need a trowel to mix the glue and apply it, something to cut the tiles, tile cutter, nippers, and we need some safety equipment. We'll also need the tiles, and just to check out that everything's level, our levels. So I'm going to move this gear out of the way and we'll show you how to mark out the job. Once our water base has been properly waterproofed, we're ready to lay the tiles. So in a shower we need a generous fall towards the floor waste, the fall being the way we want the water to flow. On this particular job we're using a large tile, it's a 600 by 300. So what we have to do, each individual tile has to be cut so that we can get fall into our floor waste. Our floor waste is in the position we want it to be, so we're going to mark our floor from corner to corner. Now that our marks are down, we can bring in a tile, lay it in dry, and then mark it ready to be cut. So I'm going to put my first tile into place, mark it and cut it. If you're particularly new to tiling, it's a good idea to cut your entire base and put it in place first to make sure that everything's okay. So I've put my tile into place. Now I'm going to take my level and mark from corner to corner. My tile's now ready to cut. So with the tile cutter, I'll bring the wheel forward, touch the bottom line, make sure I'll extend it forward, touch the top line, and then we'll know it's straight on the tile cutter. So that's our first tile cut. Now I'll mark around to cut around the floor waste. I'll continue the process, dry fit the base, then I'll mix up some glue and get them into place. So the jigsaw's finished. We've dry laid the tiles. So we've got one side cut around the waist. I'm going to cut the other side when I get this half glued into place, which will allow us a little bit of play so I can move the tiles around a little bit, and if I need to make any adjustments in the cuts on the other side, I can. Okay, to mix the glue, I'm going to pop on my safety equipment, a little bit of water into my mixing bucket, add our powder, stir it until it's a toothpaste consistency. For a little job like this, I'm not going to use a mechanical stirrer, I'm just going to use the gauging trowel. So our glue's mixed, let's put a few tiles down. So we'll start from this corner and work across. So I'm going to put some adhesive on the floor, I'll rake it with my notch trowel, and then on the back of the tile, I'll pop a little bit more glue just to make sure that we get our falls still constant through to the floor waste. I'm buttering the back of the tile, so making sure that I get a fair bit of adhesive under the tile, and I'll push it down into the glue and it'll ooze through. Scrape the excess glue off that oozes from under the tile, so on the next tile you put down, you're controlling the amount of adhesive. Once we've got our larger tile down, we use our level to make sure that the fall is still there. At least a third or half the bubble into the floor waste if you can. So I've got my sponge and my bucket of water. I'm going to clean off any excess adhesive that's on the face of the tiles. If we don't do it now, it's almost impossible to do it later. If you're an inexperienced tiler, larger tiles are much more difficult to lay, but with a little bit of patience and a good set out, you'll have no worries laying a larger tile. And that's how to lay a shower base.